Hello and welcome to week 3. This week is going to be interesting because we're going to be talking about language and the brain. And we'll be looking at two interesting brain regions that are relevant to language. These are Broca's area and Wernicke's area. And in most people, these language regions are located in the left hemisphere of the brain. We'll also be talking about what can happen if these regions are damaged. A person can get something called an aphasia, which is an acquired language problem. And these are fairly common and can be produced by things like strokes or cancers or trauma. And there's two sort of general varieties. One is fluent aphasia, where a person they sound relatively normal in terms of their intonation, but they're not really making sense. And then there's the non-fluent aphasia, where the person is having trouble with their delivery, but you can piece together what they're saying and they seem to understand that they're making language errors. We'll also be looking at a really interesting research project called the split brain experiments. And if you've taken psychology, you may have heard of these experiments before. So what happened was that in some patients, the two hemispheres were literally split in half. And the person was relatively normal. They could go about their daily lives, no problem. But it had some interesting consequences for language. So for example, a person could be holding an object in their right hand and they could think about that object. They might know what it was used for, but they couldn't name the object. So there was a kind of interesting disconnect with language. We also have a fairly long video to watch this week. It's about an hour long, and I know you might not have a full hour to sit down and watch this video, but if you break it out into 15-minute increments, I think it becomes more manageable. And it's got a lot of interesting information in it, and some of which we'll be touching on in the weeks to come. Okay, that's it. I hope you have a great week and happy learning. Bye now.